Hello everyone, Josh first back again with some more Overhit news, and today we finally are going to be promoting the new tier list for the global version of Overhit. This is pretty exciting. I want to give a special shout out to Raz and Blank for putting this together. They've been working on this for the past few weeks. They had to wait for a lot of information to come in from the soft launch. The soft launch was very instrumental and very helpful indeed on helping put together this tier list. Now, this tier list is not fully complete. It's still a work in progress. It'll be worked on, pretty much endlessly, because that's how tier lists work. The tier list could change every week, every 2 weeks, every month. It depends on the meta, it depends on buffs and nerfs. It depends on different type of content that comes in. So the numbers, of course, are going to go up and down as the game progresses. So you definitely want to keep an eye on this. Now, as I always say with tier lists, do not follow them to the letter. Do not follow them as if they're some kind of Bible, because they're not. They're just a good foundation and a good resource to help players out, especially new players, get their footing and get somewhat of build their own concrete foundation on what they feel is a good character for them and their type of play style. So it's definitely good to see what's decent in campaign, arena, and raid. If they ever add other game modes, those are going to be included, of course. So this tier list will continue to grow. What I like about the tier list so far is it's been a very community-driven tier list. We are taking information from all players currently in the global Discord for Overhit, which I will have the link for that in the description below. So I will be promoting that as well. It's been a very helpful community so far. We've kept the the toxic behavior out of it so far, so it's been very, very good. So shout out to Jen for keeping things in order. She's one of the head honchos over there. And so basically, a lot of this information is coming from the actual players, people that are actually using these characters at max skill level, at max level, and all different types of content, giving us different opinions. And we're able to form, somewhat of a nice tier list that, again, you guys can build your own opinions and foundation on when you're getting started. And even if you've already been playing for a while, especially if you've played soft launch, to give you just a really nice idea of where to go and possibly what characters to lean towards when you're trying to get through certain different types of content. So it's just a very, very, very helpful resource, but it's not something that you have to follow to the letter. So keep that in mind, guys. We also have all the units and skills for their skill 1s and their skill 2s, their leader abilities, and what their max skill 1s and max skill 2s will be. One, of course, you feed in all the dupes and max their skills out to, I believe, level 6. And we also have the cooldowns there as well. And again, I just want to give a big shout out to Raz and Blank for putting this together. It looks really nice. It's nice and clean. It's not overcomplicated. It's easy to follow, I feel. And we're still taking player submissions. We need a lot of help from the player base as well. And in particularly, we need help finding all the information on the max skill 2s of a lot of different characters. As you can see here, some of these skill 2s and skill 1 maxes are blank because we need people that are using these characters and have them maxed out to send in screenshots in the global Discord of Overhit. You'll see the channel for sending max hero skills. You'll see a channel for that, and we need you to go there and upload a picture showing the max skills of an S1 and an S2. And the only way, and the way that you do that is to just get one dupe of one SSR or one SR and just send a screenshot of you having it hovering over the max level 6 for both S1 and S2, so we can kind of see, and that'll also help improve this tier list even further, because then we'll have more information, and information is very key when it comes to making a tier list. You need as much information as possible. You want to break down as many things as possible. You want to talk about scenarios, etc., etc. And I've also personally threw in a lot of my input on characters that I actually had maxed out and I used very vigorously for the whole soft launch, and other players have done the same, and I think it's come out to be very good so far. Again, it is a work in progress, but I think we're making a lot of progress, and it's coming along nicely, and it's very good, and it's just a very nice, helpful tooltip for a lot of you players out there. So I just want to, appreciate it for what it is, and hope you guys will as well. Let's go back to the tier list really quick. We're not going to spend too much time going over all the grades and stuff like that right now. We might do like a breakdown video one day in a live stream. I think a lot of you might find that pretty cool. Now, this tier list could change up a little bit depending on how they handle global release, if we get new game modes, or if they do any buffs or nerfs, or add any new characters. So these numbers, again, they'll continuously keep changing. So just keep up to date. And I will have a link to this in the description below, as I said. But as you can see here, so to keep it simple, on the first tab, we have the skills on another tab. That way it's separated from each other. That way, if you're just looking to jump in here and get a quick reference of what characters do what in certain types of content, and our tips and notes on the side here, we're also going to be having the gear substats listed that we recommend as well. Those are not there yet. I know I keep saying we, and when I say we, I don't mean myself. I'm not actually doing the things on the tier list. I'm just giving my input, as is the whole community. This is a community tier list. That's what I mean when I say we. So don't think I'm trying to take any credit for this, guys, because I'm not. Absolutely all the credit goes to Raz, and again, Blank, for putting this together. But anywho, so to keep it simple, we have the gradings and the notes and the recommended gear substats on one tab, and then we have the skill overviews on the other. That way you guys can keep it nice and simple, nice and clean, and not get lost in the sauce or confused. But anywho, so we have the hero image, the hero name, the campaign grade, arena grade, and raid. And then we have the gear substats that we'd recommend, and then tips and notes. Usually just some little tidbits of information that we like to throw in there for the character. Those will be more hashed out later, and we'll have more information in those tips and notes. Like some of these, for example, let me go down here. One of the ones that I asked Raz to add earlier today. Let's see where it was. Oh yeah, right here. So for Luna, for example, Luna is an 8 in campaign, 8 in arena, and 7 in raid. But then I asked Raz, because I've used her very vigorously as well with Sophia. When Sophia and Luna are on the same team, they can actually use their link skill. And their link skill is absolutely amazing, especially in PvP. It's absolutely a phenomenal link skill. There are some link skills that aren't that great. They're pretty lackluster. But then there are some that'll just blow you away. They're absolutely amazing. And Luna and Sophia's is definitely one of those link skills. So her normal attack hits 3 times unit, which is very nice, but they get a +1 to score for link skill with Sophia. So Sophia also will get a +1 to all of her stats as well when she uses a link skill, and so does Luna. So when you use the link skill, she's more of a 9, 9, and an 8. But without the link skill, 8, 8, and 7. So just some things there to note when we throw them in there. Here's another one, Ren. Ren is an 8, 8, 9. Now, Ren would probably receive a little bit of a nudge down in campaign, which is story mode, if it wasn't for the fact that some of the harder bosses, especially the 8-10 boss, being a water, blue, ice type, whatever you want to call it, Ren is extremely powerful against that boss, and that's one of the bosses that you're going to struggle with in normal story and hard story, and she is going to help you blitz through that, and that adds so much value to Ren. So these are just some of the things that we like to break it down to. It's not just, oh, who can AoE clear the whole story. They're definitely a 10 out of 10. No, we're actually breaking it down to a point where we're actually even thinking about individual obstacles within story that some of you may experience difficulty trying to overcome, and thus giving certain units that can blitz you through that a little bit of an up and up on the scores, because they are going to help you get through it. So it adds a lot of a lot of value to that character. So we're really trying our best to break it down to that level while still keeping it simplified, so everything kind of works out or is pretty close to accurate. It's not going to be perfect by no means, but that's kind of the things that we're trying to do. We're just trying to put a lot of heads together and sort these things out. Again, like I said with Sophia, the +1 to score. She also resurrects as rare. Max skills are ridiculous. Sophia is one of the characters that you get at the beginning of the game. Absolutely phenomenal, especially in early game PvP. She's going to be a nightmare to deal with. So just some things there to consider as well. Some of the SRs here. Like Eleanor. Eleanor's got some pretty low stats, 6, 7, and 7, but she gains 1 to all of her stats if her HP is below 50%, because then that triggers, that triggers her additional attack, which is absolutely massive for a single target attack, but she has to meet those requirements, and those requirements aren't always met, nor are they easy to maintain. Thus, her score is a little bit harping because of that, but she does get 7, 8, 8 when those requirements are met. And then we have Nilfheim, useful for Vader Raid in combination with Aglaya and Rise. So of course that's going to go up a little bit when you're just doing raid. It's going to be a 7. I think the 7 and the asterisk is, it could possibly go up. We're going to get some more information on our boy Nilfheim. I actually used him quite a bit. Very good for raid, but sadly he just didn't feel very useful for anything else. Let's see here. Got Leon. I'm just trying to go through a few of these. I don't want to go through too many because I'm going to save that for the whole video when we do a full breakdown. Oh yeah, right here, Yuri. Yuri was a character that I was hyped on very much in the early parts of the game, but as I maxed her out, and by the way guys, I pulled 24 to 26. I can't remember the number. It was in the mid 20s, I think. That's how many Yuris I pulled in the soft lines. I was pulling Yuri's left and right. So I maxed her out. I S-graded her. I gave her some of the best substats that I possibly could on all 5-star gear, including your accessory. And boy, she fell off pretty hard for me when I got around hard story mode and got into like 7, 8 raids, etc., etc. And I really started to notice that. However, she's still very useful, very capable as a support unit. Like I said, she gets a 7, 7, and 7, falls off late game because of her weak barriers, and the weak barriers are really her drawback. Helena's just definitely superior, but she's still a good cooldown supporter, and she also provides an attack buff. So very, very good support unit, but her S1 really falls off, and it kind of made her scores go a little bit lower. Otherwise, she would be much higher. But that's just some of the things that we talked about. Another one here, Dark Hell. Dark Hell was a unit that you wouldn't really recognize as a good raid unit. And that is why he also has an asterisk next to his 8 as well, because depending on what raid your boss you're fighting, for example, because most of these units can fight in the dark raid, but you can't really fight in the fire and water one if you're the off element, because you're going to have that disadvantage. You're going to get hit very hard. But he's a 9 in campaign. His AoE damage is insane. He's a 10 in arena because, again, his AoE damage is nuts. For an SR, I think he has some of, if not the highest, AoE damage in the game for an SR. It's somewhere right around that top tier range for an SR. Now, I didn't say SSR, I said SR. And in Raid, originally we had him at a lower score, but, again, as we keep digging deeper and digging deeper, he actually is very, very good in the actual Legastein raid. I think it's Legastein or Legastein, whatever. The blue raid, the water raid, whatever. He is exceptional there because his AoE damage is so good on his S1 and his S2 that he completely obliterates the raid boss's barriers, allowing all your single targets to go in without having to waste multiple attacks trying to clear those 2 barriers down. So he's actually very, very good in his raid. So thus, he got an 8. He got a bump up from his original score. So these are just some of the things, again, that we're looking into. I hope you guys do appreciate all the hard work that Raz and, of course, Blank have been putting into this tier list. And as always, I hope you guys all enjoy. The community has been putting in a great effort, A1 effort from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new. Join us in both Discords. My Discord, which is in the link in the description below, as is the OverHit Global Discord, and the tier list link, which you guys should definitely keep up to date with and follow, and definitely check out every once in a while because some changes may come very, very soon. Who knows, but you definitely want to stay on top of it. And it's, again, a good tooltip, a good reference for you guys, especially new players, to kind of get a good ground on what is going on in the game. So, with all that said, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day wherever you are. Until next time, please drop a like if you did. Comment below what you guys think. and subscribe if you're new as always. Until next time, peace.